I had one where this is another little twist on it. Husband and wife had been married for, 15, 20 years, quite a long time. And they had purchased during their marriage, the home that they lived in. They purchased it together. They made all the payments, out of their wages, community property. But at the time they purchased it, the husband had very poor credit. And so the mortgage lender, the mortgage broker said, if you just put the wife, the person with the good credit, on title, you're going to get a much better rate, all these good things. And so they did that. So the home was owned as the separate property of the wife. That's what it said, even though all throughout the marriage, they basically paid for it together. It really, truly was community property. But we have this deed that says, no, it's separate property. So we had to go and do a spousal property petition. We had to do all this stuff. And we had to explain to the judge why this should be considered community property. And fortunately, it went through. Nobody on the deceased spouse's side objected to it. They were all, willing to go along with it. But that could be a really bad situation if there were survivors on the deceased spouse's side who said, hey, wait a minute, that's separate property. I get my 2/3 or, my half, whatever.
Right. And I think anytime you have to go get a spousal property petition or some sort of an instruction, you're just sort of opening the door for if a family has that, maybe never care if it's the blended family situation, you're just sort of opening the door. You're inviting someone to object because they have to get notice of the court proceedings. So you sort of hold your breath.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And we really weren't sure because there hadn't been really much communication with the other side of the family about it. But we knew who we had to serve it upon. And we just kind of, crossed our fingers and hoped for the best. And it worked out fine. But it's a lot of extra work too.
Right.
To have to do all of that and jump through those hoops. Okay. Any other stories that you want to share at this point or tips? Don't die intestate.
Don't die intestate, and make sure you have everything buttoned up as to the character of the property and revisit it regularly.
Those two things, don't die intestate and keep your plan up to date. There's nothing more important than those two things, I think, in our world.
Exactly. The amount of time and energy and expense that goes to clarifying things after somebody has passed far exceeds getting things done during your lifetime.
Yeah, that is so true. It's always so much easier and cheaper, even though it doesn't feel that way when you're in the middle of it.
Right.
To do it while you're alive ahead of time than to clean up the mess afterwards. That is always more of a hassle and more expensive.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Absolute Trust Talk Live. If you enjoyed listening in, then don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen by searching Absolute Trust Talk. While you're there, we would also love for you to leave us a review. And then why not share your favorite episodes with family, friends, or colleagues too? You can find all of our shows and corresponding show notes by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com. You'll also find a variety of other free resources, including our ebooks, videos, blogs, presentations, and more. If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com/scheduling. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our next live episode. If you join us for the broadcast, you can submit questions during the show. But if not, don't worry. You can always get in touch with us by sending a quick message to info@absolutetrustcounsel.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you soon.